We are delighted to have with us Eliane Abdenour. Eliane is a Palestinian Christian from Jerusalem. Church records trace her dad's family back over 300 years to the late 17th century, early 18th century. Eliane is a proud mother of 3 amazing young adults. She is a professional woman who has worked at the Pontifical Institute of Notre Dame of Jerusalem Center for 18 years, of which 8 were as academic director and also involved in student affairs at the Hospitality School. For the following 10 years, she established and directed the Marketing and Development Office, both for Notre Dame and for Magdala. Eliane was involved in the Magdalena Institute from the early stages and helped us with the organizing of the annual Women's Encounter. A special family mission was born for her and her husband after the Second Intifada in 2002, when they felt that children needed a respite. They needed to feel that their lives mattered. They needed something beyond the violence, which was what they had experienced all their lives. So they established a children's and youth Christian leadership program and conducted summer camps at a national level for 10 years. So I personally am delighted to present my friend Eliane Abdenour, who has been a great companion on the journey of my 5 years here in the Holy Land, and who will share with us about this beautiful characteristic of this sector of the people of the Holy Land, the Palestinian Christian community. Welcome, Eliane.
Thank you, Celine. Thank you for inviting me to share my thoughts and experience, and for all the work you do. I know that Women's Encounter means a lot to you. When Celine and I were discussing this year's topic, I said this is really something that is dear to my heart. I would also like to thank Dr. Mary Schwartz for taking us with her reflection on the philosophical basis of hospitality. So when I'm asked about Palestinian hospitality, I say our greeting says it all. When someone comes to our home, we say, Ahlan wa sahlan, tfaddal al-bayt baytak, which means you are welcome. My home is your home. A guest in a Palestinian home will never want for food or warmth. We are known for our generosity and hospitality. Our homes are always ready with food, sweets, and Arabic coffee, and we never turn away a person who reaches out to us. So we come to the hospitality of woman's heart. God created women with a hospitable body and heart. He gave her a body strong enough to host his children, give birth, nurture, and raise them. And he gave her a big heart filled with compassion to embrace, nurture, and serve all those around her. He created her to play an important role in humanity. Her welcoming smile may make someone's day. Her listening ear may alleviate pain and suffering. Her wisdom may give counsel, and her love and charity may be a healing balm in a broken world we live in. Gabriel Marcel, the French philosopher, in Mary's presentation said, he believes that the person in herself is lovable and has value, not because she has certain qualities or gifts, but because she herself is a gift. We women tend to love unconditionally and do things sometimes at our own physical and emotional expense. A wife and a mom does her utmost for the happiness and comfort of her family. A teacher gives her heart to her students. A consecrated serves with charity and love her community. The receptionist receives the guest with a welcoming smile. So hospitality is the expression of treating every human person with dignity. When we learn to look at life from the perspective that we are spiritual beings who are just temporarily in these bodies of ours, only then we understand that the essence of our being is love, and each person's life and dignity matters. God created us in his likeness and image. All through my life, work, and encounters with people, I wanted them to meet Christ in me. It is in God that we live and have our being. Acts 17:28. So I continue to do my best to share the Christian values my parents raised me on. Sainte Thérèse de Lisieux, life expression, do little things with great love. It is beautiful to see the little kindness and compassion that can transform lives. A couple of years ago, while I was in Jericho buying some fruits and vegetables, a young man came towards me and said, "Hello, miss, how are you?" I started struggling with my memory, trying to remember who he was. He must have been one of my students since he called me miss. So I said, "I'm fine, thank you. How about you?" And he said, "I'm fine, I have a family now." I said, "Wonderful." Then he said, "I don't think you remember me well. You helped me when I was at Notre Dame. And if it weren't for your efforts, I wouldn't have a job today. So thank you." I said, "No need to thank me. It was all by the grace of God." And he said, "And you." As he left, I struggled to hold my tears because that was 16 years ago and he still remembered. He took me through memory lane as I started remembering all the cards I received from the students who were struggling socially, financially, emotionally, and psychologically, and how God had put me in their path, or actually God put them in mine. Another incident that touched my heart was Christmas 2019. I asked Father Alonso, he's the chaplain at Notre Dame, if he would include reading the Christmas Bible passage and some Christmas carols for the traditional employees' Christmas lunch. He told me he would check, and he came back with affirmation. And when he did, he said, asked me to write the Bible passage in Arabic using Roman letters. He's a fervent learner of the Arabic language. So I asked women at the gift shop to help me with the singing, with the Christmas carols, and they happily agreed. So Christmas lunch came and all the employees loved Father Alonso's effort to read in Arabic, and all sang the carols joyfully. Later that afternoon, while in my office, the three women came with a little gift bag in their hand and said, "Thank you for making this year's event different." I said, "I didn't do anything. It was your spirit." And they said, "Oh, yes, you did. We know how much you are challenged, and this is a small token of appreciation." And I choked and tears ran through my cheeks. It has equally been beautiful to see how the kids and youth who attended the Christian Leadership Program have flourished and hold important positions. Some already have beautiful families and children, and until today, we are in touch with some. So never underestimate acts of kindness. They are forever engraved in the hearts of the recipients. I would like to pause and mention the people who have influenced my life and were true examples of hospitality. My parents, they taught me to give unconditionally. I remember it was Christmas time, and I was 6 or 7 then, and my mom and dad told us that we need to sit together and pack some Christmas gifts for the less fortunate children who lived at the orphanage. I was excited, and at the same time was wondering how it is to be in an orphanage. I will never forget how the eyes of the children lit when we entered the hall and with all the presents. They felt they were loved and that they mattered amidst their internal struggle of feeling rejected and abandoned in an orphanage. My father, who is a retired dental surgeon, volunteered for years at an old-aged home every Wednesday and Saturday afternoon to check and fix the teeth of its residents. He felt it was part of his mission. We used to accompany him, and sometimes we would play and sing with the old people and with the nuns, and sometimes we would pray and assist at Mass. I learned the art of hospitality from my mom. Apart from being an excellent cook who always prepares the best meals, she helped all those who reached out to her. Her hospitality reflected our Palestinian culture and Christian values. My maternal grandma, who is also my godmother, had the greatest influence on my faith. She lost her mother at birth and she attended a nun's school while helping her stepmom bring up her siblings. She entered an arranged marriage at age 13. She had 6 children and 1 died at infancy. In 1948, they sought refuge in Egypt to keep their family safe, only to come back and find out that they lost their home and properties. All through the wars and life challenges and brokenness, she never lost her faith and close relation with God. He was her strength and salvation. And despite her struggles, she always had a welcoming smile to everyone she encountered and enjoyed her delicious food and hospitality. I always loved to go and sleep over. She was always prayerful, her gospel and prayer book by her side, even when she was in hospital in her final days. She always attended Mass, and when she couldn't, she would ask the priest to come and give her communion. So you see, hospitality is the unconditional love and compassion we learn through the actions of our elders and surrounding environment, and is reflected in everything we do, no matter how big or small. As mentioned in Mary's presentation, Marcel said, the metaphysics of hospitality is not a set of practices or ideas. It is a personal attitude of love and respect toward all human beings. This land witnessed so many wars and struggles. Many lives have been lost and many dispossessed and displaced. Every human life matters, no matter its color, race, religion, or ethnicity. The children of God are created in his likeness and his image and deserve to live in dignity. In Genesis 1:27, it says, so God created man in his own image. In the image of God, he created him. Male and female, he created them. And in Galatians 3:28, there is neither Jew nor Greek, there is neither slave nor free, there is no male or female, for you are all one in Christ Jesus. I would like to ask you to join me in praying for justice and peace for this land. And finally, I would like to say, Jesus said, for I was hungry and you gave me food. I was thirsty and you gave me drink. I was a stranger and you welcomed me. And that's in Matthew 25:35. So this sums up that this is the hospitality of a woman's heart. Thank you.
Thank you, Eliane. We are delighted to have you with us and to have listened to what poured out from your own heart and your life journey and your experience as a Palestinian Christian here in the Holy Land. And I remember you mentioned the other day that you had an activity in mind for the women to do. So could you mention that to us?
Yes, I would like for them to get a journal and call it Little Things with Great Love, and write their experiences and come back to them as a reminder and share them with their loved ones and others, because we all tend to forget what we give and what we receive.
Very good. Well, thank you so much, Eliane, and I'm sure many women will take up your idea of having a personal journal to help them remember these beautiful treasures. Thank you.
Thank
God
you.
bless.
God bless you. Thank you.
So we welcome Nira Nachaliel. I don't know if I pronounced your name properly. You can correct me. What is your name?
Nachaliel. Nira Nachaliel.
Nachaliel. There is this guttural sound that's very proper to the Hebrew pronunciation, and I'm still working on it. There's a little bit of in Spanish, and I remember when I lived in Mexico, I had to practice that too. So we are very happy to have Nira with us. I met her a couple of weeks ago at a circle, which had people from Jewish tradition and also Muslim. And we two Christians arrived and we were warmly welcomed. So that was beautiful. So I want to ask Nira about your experience growing up and your background in relation to hospitality.
Yes, thank you for inviting me, and forgive me for my English, which is not so fluent, but I hope you will understand me.
Yes.
Well, I was raised in a kibbutz in the south of Israel, and the kibbutz educate us, everyone, that people should be equal. And it was all around me, this idea that we have to see everyone as a human being, and all the humankind should be equal. And we try to live like this in our everyday life. So this is the beginning. Later on, I studied many Jewish Talmudic stories and Talmudic tractate that
also give you some idea. Yes.
Yeah,
so what would you say about the Jewish tradition in hospitality? What does it tell us? What does it uphold? What values does it?
It says the Jewish tradition and the sages were much concerned about hospitality, about charity, about kindness, about the other, and so on. And I would like to point out two stories, very short stories from the Talmud, from the Jewish tradition, in which women have a significant role to play in clarifying this issue, okay? So the first one, the Talmud tells us about a couple, Mr. Ukba and his wife. She doesn't have a name. I mean, she has a name, but we don't know it. And Mr. Ukba used to give charity to one poor person in his neighborhood every day. He just put it in his door and they didn't meet each other. One day, the poor man wanted to find out who was giving him the money every day. So he was waiting for him at the door. And when our couple, Mr. Ukba and his wife, noticed that he is waiting for them, they ran away and they hid in an oven. And those times there were big ovens. You could just jump into the oven and hid there, and they hid there. But in the oven there were hot coals. So Mr. Ukba's legs began to burn. So his wife told him to put his feet on her feet because she was not burned. And why is she not hurt? She explained to him that she gives food to the poor who knock on the door. So they immediately enjoy what she gives them. This is the story. So this woman offers a face-to-face meeting with the needy, as opposed to secretly giving charity without seeing the face, anonymously. Secretly giving, it preserves the dignity, the honor of the poor. But when the woman gives him food, she not only provides him with immediate needs, she can also give him recognition as a human being and give him attention, not only food, but attention, something for his soul. So this is the one of the stories that I want to put out.
It's very beautiful. Thank you.
And the other is about a smart woman named Bruria from the Mishnah times. Her husband, Rabbi Meir, he was one of the greatest sages. And in their neighborhood, there were hooligans who made trouble to Rabbi Meir and caused him great sorrow. So he prayed for God. Do you know that story?
No, I haven't heard it yet. I'm excited
Okay.
to hear it.
So he prayed to God, Rabbi Meir prayed to God, to mercy on them and that they should die. But Broya, his wife, told him, on what basis do you pray for the death of these hooligans? Do you base on the phrase from Psalms that is written, let sins cease from the land, which you interpret to mean that the world should be better if the wicked were destroyed. But is it written, let sinners cease? No, let sin cease is written. In Hebrew, it sounds better because the words are very, very similar.
Yes.
So she said, one should pray for the end of their actions, not the end of their life, of the bad life, the bad people life, but the end of the bad deeds. Yeah, the bad actions. So again, this woman sees the human beings, not just his action, and therefore she sees the potential for change, for correction, for they and also for the world, not to destroy the men, but to change their actions. So she sees the person, not what they do to me. They are a person by themselves. And so they have to change their actions. And I am not the center of the scene there.
Right.
So
beautiful.
I think these two stories demonstrate something from.
They definitely do. A lot of food for thought and even for discussion after we finish this part of the presentation. But I have a question for you. What would you say are the difficulties in doing kindness? Like, why do we need to be convinced so much that it's important? But first, let's go to the difficulties that you see.
Yes, I'm asking what is so hard for us to be kind and hospitalized. We can ask, what is harder for us to give? Food, money? Or would I rather not help materially at all and support spiritually or mentally? Everyone has different things that are easier for him or for her to do. And I want to suggest a little exercise. Try to remember, you and the other who watches us, try to remember a case you needed support, or give support, or gave support. How did you feel? What was difficult about it and what was easy about it? Now, I'm sure everyone has many, many answers and thoughts about it, but I would say that why is it so difficult for us? Perhaps for personal reasons. We are ashamed of the shame of the poor, or we are suspicious and we are afraid of cheaters, that someone is cheating on us. We do not want someone enters our home, or even sometimes to our mind, to our souls. We're afraid of it. We want to keep ourselves, intact. And it is also reminds us the fear of being in that state, in that situation of need. And sometimes it is also just difficult for us to provide what they really need. And we feel like we can't help, we can't really help. But sometimes the barrier of giving is ideological. We think we do not want to to give because we think the authorities need to address these issues. And if we continue to help, it will be only but how to say,
Right.
just going on all the time. It will not solve the problem at all. Just even
perpetuate it.
Yeah, perpetuate what you said.
Yes. No, you're excellent. I'm impressed with your English. It's very actually very good.
Thank you.
Yes.
So all of these we need to overcome in order to open our hands. We can close our hands, but we have to open it, and our hearts to someone else, to strangers, to those who are not the same as us. And in the Jewish resources, there are many things about how good is it to help the weak and to see the strangers as part of us. And whoever does so will receive many blessings. Now, the sages, our chachamim, they like go out as a campaign for sake of doing kindness, because they keep saying it again and again, what is so good to do it. And apparently we need to be convinced that we should do it.
Right.
And to me, I just one more sentence about what you asked. To me, the intention is not that we will reward for these deeds and there is blessings that we'll get, but that the world will be a better place if we will do all these things. And this is the real reward that will benefit from, all of us will benefit from.
Very true. And Mira, one of the things that really impressed me when I met you at the circle was your warmth and your openness to the other people, and you seem experienced in that. Could you share a little bit about what you're doing in the field of hospitality with people who are different?
Yeah, first of all, I don't do much. I have many things and I should do more, I guess. But what am I doing? Everyone should do what he can do, what she can do. I am a part of, first of all, I live in the Galilee, in the Lower Galilee, and in a small village named Mitzpe Netofa. And all around there are Arab villages. So I live in between, and I feel it's a religious must to be in a good, to live together in a good way. And I'm part of the Association for Joint Israeli Leadership, who aspires to empower a common ground and respect the other. It is really important for us. We are looking for the common, for things that are common for us, but that are the same. But we respect the differences, and we think it is important because I can learn from differences. Right. And all this is for building a joint future. And as part of this association of joint Israeli leadership, I facilitate a group of Jewish and Arab women, both Muslim and Christian. And especially in these days, but in Israel it's all the time, not only in these times. It is very, first of all, it is very interesting to know each other. It is very interesting, and it is very important, because if you know each other, you can hear, you can speak, you can be heard, and knowledge is the first step in order to live together and to appreciate each other. Yes. So this is one of the things that I do.
But thank you for what you are doing. And I have to say, I was very happy to see that young girl who was present being listened to by all of you with such respect and with such attention. And I thought the way you held her presence and her dignity helped her to be confident and to express herself freely and clearly. And of course, she also is a young woman who who has this strength, because she also has a background of example around her and culture as well that has helped her to be who she is. But I just thought everybody should see it. And I remember that day I took a picture, wasn't so long ago, and I put it up on Facebook, and it's got over 200 likes, which is a lot for my little Facebook page. But I just thought how much hope that has brought. So I want to thank you, Nira. And I want to
we
say
try
God bless
what
you.
we can.
Yeah.
We try what we can do, and thank you very much.
Thank you, and shalom.
Shalom.
Thank you. All right.
Amen.
Thank you. So we have this beautiful young lady with us today. Can you tell us what is your name?
My name is Aya Asadi.
And Aya Asadi is a Muslim young lady. How old are you, Aya?
I'm 19 years old.
Wonderful. Did you finish high school?
I finished high school 2 years ago.
And what are you doing now?
I'm doing a service. What
Military service?
Yeah.
And all young people here in Israel do, the girls do 2 years, is that right? And the young boys do 3 years?
No, not all. Not all.
Okay, not everybody.
Yeah, not everybody do it, because Arabs and Arabs doesn't have
to do it.
But they have the option to do it.
Okay, and you chose this option.
Yeah, and
that says, yes, that says a lot about you, Aya. So I would like to know where you are from. So our people who are listening from around the world will realize what part of the Holy Land are you from?
I am from from Afula, next to Nazareth.
Near Nazareth. And actually, I have been through Afula. Sometimes I have gone through Afula, and it is not too far from Nazareth, and not too far from where we are here in at Galilee, in Magdalena. And I'd like to know how you learned something about hospitality as you grew up as a young Muslim in the town of Afula. What was it like for you?
I didn't grow up in Afula. I grew up in Dar el Asad and Nahif. She's and this is two villages next to each other. My father from the Asad, my mother from Nahif, and my grandfather, when I was growing up in Nahif, I saw him. I watched him inviting and welcoming people, just going across the street and inviting them to food. My grandmother, she was cooking for them, and
so your grandfather would invite them to his house for food, even though he didn't really know them. He just met them on the street. He just saw them in the town.
Back then, everybody knew everybody.
Okay, it's a small town, yeah. But he would invite them over.
Yeah.
Very nice. A beautiful example. Now, do you think hospitality is still the same today? That people invite people over and give a beautiful meal?
Well, sorry for us, but we don't have the same hospitality now. The hospitality has changed in so many people, and I think changing is good, but they erased it from their hearts, and this brings war.
Yes, brings division and war when we do not have this hospitality. That's very true, Aya. And you also mentioned that your grandfather and grandmother would tell stories to the people who would come to have a meal.
Yeah, that's true, right.
Because they wanted them to enjoy, right, their time there and to have a fun time, as you said to me before. And I met you, Aya, at a circle, which is a new thing that I discovered existed between Arab Israelis and Jewish Israelis trying to meet each other. Now, how was it that you joined that circle?
Well, I didn't join
No?
The circle. I started it with my what do we call it?
Friends or family?
No,
neighbors?
No. Someone that works with me.
Your co-workers.
Yeah. And we started the circle together. We have bring some food and invited people that we think that they would come. And yeah.
And I really enjoyed meeting you, Aya, that day. I think there were only 2 Muslims and the rest were Jewish. And then the 2 of us Christian who went to visit that circle. And I was very impressed at your confidence, sharing from your heart, your experience, and also listening to the others. And they were listening to you.
Well, I think it's so important that we tell our feelings clearly, to put it clearly front of everybody, so we don't get misunderstanding.
Exactly. Clear communication is such a gift, and it helps hospitality because then we know each other and then we listen and we share from the heart, and that brings confidence. Clear communication builds hospitality. Yes, very true. Now I wanted to ask you, if you have any advice for other teenagers today, because you're still a teenager. You are 19, right? And do you have advice for other young teenagers today in relation to hospitality? What advice would you give them?
You know what? I do have an advice.
Good.
My advice to our teenagers, to the teenagers in my age, older, younger, to all the people actually, love each other, okay? Because by loving each other, we understand more. We will be more together.
Yes.
And together, many wars has begun because of misunderstanding, because not being able to love each other. So please love each other.
Thank you. Thank you, Aya. I'm very grateful for your time with us today. And I wish you all the best in your work with these circles that you helped to found, and also in your service, that you will be safe and protected, and that you will mature. And I look forward to meeting you again sometime later on. I'm sure you will have so much more. Yes. Yes, we hope so. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Speakers, Mary Mullah, and Mary hails from from this northern Israel region, the Galilee area, and she grew up in the Druze community. And what was amazing about Mary, with the encouragement of her parents, she moved forward, especially her dad, and she got an education higher than would normally be the case for girls of her situation. And not only did she finish her high school, she went on to college and went further and got her doctorate degree. And Mary also would drive. And Mary has learned many things that were opening the way for other Druze young people in her community, who have many of them followed her steps. And they love her, and we love Mary too. We're very happy to have had her last year speaking here at Magdalena. This year she is back with us, and we love the fact that Mary is so open to others and such a good friend of many people of all faith backgrounds and all cultures and countries. She has a big heart, and without any more ado, I leave you with Mary Mula. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Celine. And hello to everyone. So I'm happy to be here. My name is Mary, as Celine said. I work as an special education inspector, and I am also an emotional therapist, and I have my own clinic, and I am a doctor of educational counseling. I will talk today about the Druze and about the Druze hospitality, especially, but I should give you a background of the Druze culture. So the Druze are an Arab ethnic group in the Middle East, and they have a unique religion, and they split from the Ismailism. It's a part of the Shia, Islamic Shia, in the 11th century. The Druze religion is secret. It's unique and secret. And just few people know the deep Druze religion. They call it Okal. That means educated or knowledge able. And the other part of the Druze, they call Juhal. It means who know nothing, who know nothing. So they don't know the religion in depth.
Next.
Yeah, that's it. So the Druze believe that the important thing here is the spirit, and it's not the body, because they believe that the body is it's only a materials machine, and it's hold the spirit, and help the spirit to train or to learn what it come to learn here in the world. Next, yeah. So the Druze believe that everyone is equal here, because all the souls are equal, and this is the word is the word of equality, because all of us are equal as spirits, as souls. So we should talk to each other as equal, to behave each to other as an equal, and there's no one important, less important, someone that had a high place, or everyone is equal. Yeah. The Druze, the basic belief in the Druze, they believe that in a reincarnation. The Druze believe in a reincarnation, and they believe that the soul is keeping moved from one life level to other life level till it or she learn, she graduate, she become, she have a final degree, that she learn everything that she come to learn here. So we believe that we was in all the other religions, and we believe that we are influenced from the history of the culture, all the cultures in the world. And they believe also in philosophic theories like Aflaton and Buddhism. The Druze, can you? No. One before? Yeah. No, one before, up. That's it. The Druze have several names. One of them, the Druze is not a good, actually, Druze is not a good name for a Druze because they take it from someone that he said at the first when the Druze religion became, he said that he's the Mashiach. That he's a God. He called Nashtakin Darazi, and the Druze didn't like him. So it's not the Druze name. The real Druze name is Al Muwahhidun, that they believe in one God. Or Bani Ma'ruf, it's the sons of grace. That's the real name of the Druze. At the past, the Druze was a bad name for a Druze. Yeah. 10. Go to 10. Cell 10. Yeah, that one. Yeah. Under the Druze religion, the individual must possess high human qualities here and act accordingly. Yeah, they should be help the weak persons because we are believe in equality, so they should believe anyone. Should support anyone and relieve them, being kind to neighbors and being cheerful when they're receiving visitors. Next. No, where are you? Okay. One of the main things that the Druze just teach each other and the parents teach the sons to do, that it's to be hospital. Yeah. Because the Druze are so income and so generosity. Generous, yeah. And they just believe that they have nothing here because the soul will move, the spirit will move, and we will lift everything here. And so we have nothing here. We don't own anything. So we should share everything with each other. Next. The coffee is the famous incoming or a symbol in the Druze culture. It's a symbol of hospitality among the Druze tradition. Okay. So if we go anywhere, and I say, "Ahu tubtin sharab," who is speaking Arabic here, they will "Ahu tubtin sharab," that he's welcoming, he can host his visitors, and he's a good person that we can drink his coffee. And who's not so good and not so well, we said, "Ahu tubtin sharabsh." We can't drink his coffee. Yeah. One of my strongest memories, when I was a little girl, I live in a special neighborhood in Yarka. It's a Druze village, and it was like a one-way neighborhood. Who's coming can't just move. They should make a turn and go out. So all the women was in a good relationship and a good neighborhood, and they keep meeting every day in my aunt's house. She have no husband. Her husband was died, so they can be there for free. So every night they meet together, and they all together make us as a children. They cook for the children, for all the whole children, and they used to help each other to preparing things and to make to take care about the family's needs. And they used to do everything together, and that's what I have from my childhood when I was a child, and it made me feel all the time that I have all of things. I'm so rich, and I have a lot, because it wasn't just our food or our things. It's everyone from in the neighborhood. That's it. I hope that I make you. Sorry about my English. I'm so sorry.
Beautiful sense of hospitality that was also very connected with the coffee, but with all the food, but especially the coffee. That was very interesting to say. If somebody doesn't have good hospitality, you can't drink their coffee. Like, you know, they're just not drinkable. But the one who has a good heart, it doesn't matter about their coffee, you can drink coffee with them. It's a nice expression that kind of
because the feeling is moving through the coffee.
Yes. And also it was very nice to see the experience of saying all worldly things in a way. We're not going to take them with us when we die. That's true.
Yeah.
I think for every human experience, but that's a very good reminder to have that present, because that helps us, as you said, on one hand to be very generous, and on the other hand to feel we're very loved, because everything is available, you know, of what we need. Well, we try to have what we need, and we don't need to have more than that.
Yeah, because we just keep taking care about our souls, not about our bodies. Yeah, for sure.
In a case whereby somebody visited you and then you offered coffee, maybe this person is not a coffee drinker and the person said no. I know, this is, technique.
Yeah. No, you put it and you said, okay, I don't drink coffee, or I don't like coffee, but usually we drink it. We drink it to feel. No, we can say it. We can say, at the past they didn't do it. They drink it even it was so bad. Now we are more honest, maybe, or
yeah, more options like tea.
Yeah.
Oh,
I can say, I thank you, I don't drink coffee. But
you give
you won't feel good.
Not sweet coffee at the beginning.
yeah, it's a
Sweet.
yeah, it's not without sugar. The good coffee, it's without sada, without coffee. Yeah, it's without sugar. Yeah.
So people who would come to your house, you won't be disappointed if they don't drink coffee at all. But would you offer like tea or?
Sure, for sure.
So this
For sure.
Normal times they would feel like they are disappointed and it's a shame.
No, for sure. We ask.
It's no more like that.
Usually the Druze give everything.
Yeah.
They give juice and tea, and you should drink everything and eat everything that they give you, because they are really want to give. They have it. Yeah.
And also what is very, very serious, the Druze is very local to the country that he lives in.
Yeah.
It's very important.
Yeah. Because it's a secret religion. So we keep just take the majority culture.
את יכולה להגיד את זה בעברית?
כן, בדרך כלל הדרוזים לוקחים את המאפיינים, לא, הדרוזים לוקחים את המאפיינים של תרבות הרוב שהם גרים בה, כמו בירדן.
הם נאמנים לכוח השולט.
לא, זה לא נאמנות לכוח השולט. הם נטמעים בתוך majority. As a minority, they just go deep in the majority, and they and because they also because they live in a reincarnation, they say that there's no need for culture or countries, because maybe I am here now in Israel, and in my next level I will be in Lebanon, and after I will be in Jordan, so I should not. Yes. Reincarnation, yeah, reincarnation.
What do you think about today's world? It's more individual, and we are losing something of hospitality. And do you think the Druze community or yourself, how you can, let's say, actualize the hospitality aspect of Druze religion for today's world and in your own life?
Yeah, I will talk about my personal journey here. I talked about it just, last year. So I start a journey just to look about me, who I am, why I'm here, and what I should do here, because I feel that we already separate as a human, one from the other, and in the Druze culture they still have the inner connection, because they have the secret religion that they can't share the religion with others, and we can't to get married with other persons from other cultures, from other So we still have it, but not as a daily life. We also become more individuals than collective.
Is as individual, for example, you would like to have a spiritual life.
Yeah.
But the basics or the deep is secret. How you do if you don't belong to the secret?
So because I told you that the religion part called Uqal, that the knowledge, they have their knowledge, and we call as un-religion, I call Jahil.
Okay.
That I don't know nothing, I know nothing about my religion, so I go to the other religion. I study Kabbalah.
Wow.
I learn Kabbalah. I'm Kabbalistic.
באמת?
כן. I read in a...
Okay, then you have to find another...
Injil. Bible and the Quran.
New Testament.
And I went back to my religion. And I go to the religion men. Usually there are men that they have knowledge, because women didn't didn't educate before. So I went to the men. I used to go till now and keep asking them. Deep ask question. Sometimes I don't feel good with it, but
I'm not convinced of it.
yeah, I ask them about what I know from the outside.
Yeah.
And what is it? How we explain it.
Wait.
From the,
Maggie, is it right that when the man gets 40 years old, he is allowed to know about this secret religion?
No.
That's in the Kabbalah.
No,
In the
it's a Kabbalah. It's a Kabbalah. It's a
but what
Kabbalah.
about
It's
the-
I had yesterday, 2 days before, I had a lecture, lecture, and I talked about the Druze religion from to the Jewish community. There was Jewish people, and I now write a book with one Jewish rabbi, קוראים לו אריאל, ירושלים, ואנחנו, and we just try to explain that Druze religion, that seems like a Kabbalah. There's a lot of things, and it's the same thing,
Like
the Christian and the Islamic.
Yeah.
So, you asked me something?
About
40 years. I ask you.
I asked it's 15.
15?
15. Just the
Can
Uqal,
start.
just the Uqal can go to the Khilwi. The Khilwi, it's the place that we pray in.
Meditate and Yeah.
praying, and it's a simple place. So just the Okkal can go there, and the children till 15. When they become 15, they should decide if to be Okkal or Zohal.
Okay. But
Like a
girls
bar mitzvah.
cannot decide.
Bar mitzvah.
But girls cannot decide. Girls they are anyway.
No. There was before.
Now
Because
they can decide.
because the girls.
Okay.
No, the girls before.
The girls
Like my
that-
mom.
She couldn't decide. She's
No, my
Johan.
mom born as a religious, and she come through her life.
She's Okal or Johan, your mom?
My Okkal.
She doesn't know the secret.
No, she know.
She knows.
Okkal. She know because she never go out from the village. She just keep in the village. But now the woman go out, and we should ask now.
So there are like some conditions how to become Okkal.
Yeah, for sure. You can see it's
And these are like very
it's a
difficult.
separate.
There are very
Wow.
difficult conditions like you should do and do and do to become Okkal.
No. We should go to the Khilwe and ask the Okkal
Okay.
for 3 months
Ah, yeah.
if they can give us
Okay.
the permission to
okay.
get in. And we should be honest that we didn't do anything because we have the 10 accepted law.
Commandments.
Yeah, 10 commandments that we should not kill, not oof. Oof. No one knows it.
So go with
Other men. Yeah. So we should say that we did not anything from this.
Like we didn't do sin.
Yeah.
It's a sin or
Yeah.
adultery or whatever.
Yeah. That's it.
But how can I feel as a Druze a hope in my life if I don't if it's everything's secret?
Because it's by spoken. It's moved by spoken. The mothers and the fathers, all the children. Yeah.
Traditions.
It's not a tradition. Even in the house, I have a religion book in my house. I
Yeah.
can't open it
Wow.
because it's. I can't open it till I become Afghan.
Till you ask me, till you ask somebody
Yeah,
and
I
they
should-
answer you.
No, I should become to.
Until you decide to become Okkal.
Yeah,
and
to
your whole
have-
life will be
because
that.
like a Zohar, like a Kabbalah, but we believe there's a 3 reasons why it's a secret.
Okay.
One is because the Druze was a part of the Islamic
Okay.
culture
and
and
they were
they
maybe
separate and so
executed.
they just run after them
Yeah.
and kill them.
Yeah. Then you.
So they
hide
make
yourself.
it secret. The other reason was because the religion men say that there was written in the secret books that it should be secret till our Mashiach become and he can open it because I didn't tell you the Druze religion was just open for 43 years. People can become Druze in Egypt. In Egypt and in the Middle East, it started in Egypt.
Yeah. Okay. Then
Just
you get your chance.
43 years. And who take on himself
Yeah.
to sign the spiritual paper that he will become a Druze. So it's closing you can't become to be Druze, but I can go out.
You can go out.
Yeah,
Once
Okay.
you are-
But if somebody want to become Druze, they can.
He can. So believe that the Mashiach, he will come and open it
For all the
again. For all of them, yeah. And the other one, the third one was Kamal Black told about it. He's a Druze philosophic. He said, like a Zohar, like a Kabbalah, it's so heavy spiritual energy in the religion books. So regular people can't hold it. So they really need to own it.
They cannot bear it.
Want it.
if They are not
To own it.
ready.
Yeah.
Mary, I think we have. Did you want to say something? Yes.
I have so many close friends, and I had done So when I check researches about the religion, the real, well, nowadays we can take the book
נכון.
we can take the book and read it, but why we don't understand it, because there are so many secrets in the words themselves. So even if we want to read it and know what's in there, we can.
The religion books are on the internet. From the Lebanese world, they take it. And they publish. But we no Druze one, no Druze person open it. Or I have it in my house.
But you